what it was. Y'all already know who it is. And y'all tuned in with priceless knowledge of self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight. And before we even get started, man, let me address something, because I'm seeing a lot of y'all making a crucial mistake when you're asking compatibility questions, man. Stop basing compatibility questions off sun signs, man. Because when you're asking, is Aries compatible with a Cancer, you really should be asking, is a person with Venus in Leo compatible with a person with Venus in Pisces, which I don't know. Or is a person with Venus in Leo compatible with a person with Venus in Aries, which is a good thing? Or is a person with Venus in Cancer compatible with a person with Venus in Aries? I don't know, that might be rough. Or is a person with Venus in Gemini compatible with a person with Venus in Pisces? That might be rough. Or is a person with, Mars in Leo or Mars in Taurus compatible with a person with Mars in Virgo, or a person with Mars in Libra? Yes, and maybe not. There's a lot to consider. And then you also have to take into consideration life experiences, maturity. Where is this person at in their journey? Okay. So really, an astrologer can't tell you much but how one energy works with another energy. Whether you're compatible with a person or not, it depends on a lot. A lot. How resilient are you? How much can you take? That's important, man. Just remember that, man. I was just putting y'all up on game a little bit. That's not relevant to what we're going to talk about, but it's relevant to life. And I'm always going to kick that priceless knowledge for you. And so, now, today, we're finna talk about this karma. Because this right here, this a little something about those people that have their North Node in the 10th house and their South Node in the 4th house of their natal chart. And see, before we even go there, if you don't know my style, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give y'all a little information about the nodes. I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown of the North Node. I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown of the South Node. Then I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the history, the mythology that comes along with it, and how they might affect you. I might even address how us astrologers use the nodes, if you stick with me. So, without wasting any more time, man, we might as well get on the grind. So, when we're talking about the nodes, man, in astrology, your life purpose is encoded in the North and the South Node of the moon, or referred to as Rahu and Ketu, respectively, in Vedic astrology. And these right here are not actual celestial bodies either, man. They're actually two mathematical points in the chart that fall directly opposite one another, and they kind of create an axis of sorts of opposite signs and opposite houses. For instance, if your North Node is in Aries, then your South Node is in Libra. And if your North Node is in the 10th house, then your South Node is in the 4th house, and so on and so forth. And they really help us answer questions like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Why am I here? And what's my life's mission? Hell, even, why am I like this? And what might I have been in past lives? Yeah, we're going to go there. And if you're not privy, or if you don't believe in reincarnation, just think about it as your early days, or your early days. Okay. But either way it goes, man, this shit right here is crucial. And so when we're talking about the North Node, this is where you need to go right now. This is your karmic destiny, man. This is your path that you need to go on, man. And I like to think that the North Node illuminates the terrain that's calling your name, but climbing to the peak of this mountain is going to be like trying to get to the summit of Mount Everest, man. So you probably going to have to lighten up your load, enlist some help, and do all kinds of things and make all kinds of sacrifices if you ever want to get to the top of this hill, Miss Weezy. Hey, man, this is kind of your learning curve in a sense, because Rahu activities are going to require you to stretch out of that comfort zone. And once you do, you're going to be amazed at how empowered that you feel. For real, man. And, this is all about the activation of your life's mission. And the sooner that you align yourself with this path, the more purpose-driven your life is going to be. And you're always going to have that South Node energy as that little ace in the hole, or that little fallback game whenever you need it, man, when you made your way in life, man. But when I'm looking at the North Node, I'm looking at it like this, man. We often get caught up trying to think that, because we're good at certain shit, or because some certain stuff comes particularly easy for us, that's what we're supposed to be doing with our lives. Yet a lot of the time, that easy shit, it just doesn't feel spiritually satisfying. And it never will, because the simple fact is that we've mastered that path enough times in previous lives already. So it's time to do something new. It's time to look at that karmic destiny from another lens. And so here we are looking at the South Node though. And this is your innate gifts, man. This is past life shit. This is, gonna fall exact opposite of the North Node, and it reveals the gifts that you brought into this lifetime with you. It's your little comfort zone. It's your little sweet spot. And, you're going to be innately good in these areas of life, which it might cause you to begin your early path based on Ketu's energy. Okay. And while that might bring you a little sense of satisfaction and some accomplishments, it'll never be spiritually nourishing because it's basically on some been there and done that type shit. And, fucking with the South Node, indeed you have. And probably in many, many previous lifetimes. So it's time to flip the script on that and use Ketu's energy as a springboard into Rahu's destiny. Okay. It's like the South Node is your little horoscope hometown and shit. So it's not necessarily the place that you want to settle down permanently, but it's definitely somewhere comfortable that you can visit when you need a boost or you need to feel a sense of belonging. You can always go back home. Okay. And so as astrologers, we use the nodes to determine where your destiny lies in this life with the North Node or Rahu and kind of what you had going on in past lives or earlier times with the South Node or Ketu. All right. And as far as the transits go with these, they take about 18 months or a year and a half to go through each sign, man. And this shit goes well beyond just Western astrology and even this life right here, because in Jewish or Kabbalistic astrology, it focuses primarily on the nodes, and it calls the North Node your tikkun or your correction. And it views it as the karmic adjustment that your life must make in order to ascend. Yeah, it's that crucial. And in Vedic or sidereal astrology, Rahu is the head of the dragon, but he has no body. And Ketu is the body or the tail of the beast, and he has no head. And, Vedic really takes a lot more harsh view of the South Node's karma. But either way it goes, this lets you know that all this shit is crucial, man. And this is something definitely worth paying attention to. And really, when I talk to people and I'm giving them their chart interpretation, I tell them I could easily start or end my whole analysis with that North Node placement, man, because it lets me know what you need to be doing with your life, man. And everything else kind of falls second tier to that. And so when we're looking at having the North Node in the 10th house or Rahu in the 10th house, with this being the 10th, man, I know y'all want me to talk about status, and I know y'all want me to talk about career and climbing the social ladder and all that good shit, man. And hey, man, it's really deeper than that. It's really deeper than that, because when I'm looking at a 10th house Rahu, I'm looking at somebody who just needs to take responsibility for their own life, man. They need to become the master of their own ship, because for whatever reason in the past, they were more domestic people. Okay. And they kind of held themselves back in order to prioritize the needs of their peoples and their family. And that shit just can't fly this time around. Cause no, this North Node placement, this is letting you know that the universe is prompting you to say that it's time for you to take control, man. And that doesn't just mean objectively either. Cause this is also telling you that taking control of your emotions, hey, that's another lesson that needs to be learned in this life, because Rahu here, it speaks of the soul wanting to focus on understanding the emotional responses on a rational level. And that means letting go of patterns of behavior in life that really don't serve you anymore. And so, hey, man, it's going to help you do that. And once you do, then you can start working on becoming more independent and, setting after your ambitions and, replacing that emotional insecurity with thorough planning and masterful execution. But, y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. This also tells me that in previous existences, these people right here, they were probably really caring people who focused a lot on the needs of their family and the people they cared about. But a lot of times it was at their own expense. And so they were helping people so much that they kind of failed to acknowledge when they themselves needed help too. So, this 10th house North Node, it's ultimately saying that these folks right here need to focus on themselves more in this lifetime, which that doesn't mean don't have a family. It just means to make sure that you take care of your own needs too in doing so. Okay. And that right there kind of starts with learning how to take responsibility for all your own actions and being an independent person and finding the strength in your own achievements. Okay. But to be able to get to that, man, you're going to have to be willing to get up and get out of that little comfort zone, which really ain't so easy for people with this placement. Okay. Because these motherfuckers right here love to be at home. Hey, man, if this is your placement, I know it. You love to be at home, man. So much so that, putting yourself out there, it can actually give you some anxiety, which, you know, that really comes down to, you know, not wanting to go it alone, man. Not wanting to go it alone. Cause this right here could also point to a certain dependency or even a codependency to the people that they care about. That's just going to have to be worked on in this life. And not only that, you know, there's also right here a colossal retentive tendency that can keep these people so stuck on the past that it's really impeding them from realizing their true potential right now. Cause, hey man, they're definitely the type that can, you know, keep beating a dead horse and holding on to some bullshit well after everybody else has moved on. And, you know, that passive aggressiveness that comes along with this, that they brought into their life with them, man, it damn sure ain't gonna help them, man. It is not going to help in any way, form, or fashion. So Rahu right here, it's all about, you know, developing self-discipline. And it's going to take a lot of persistence, resilience, diligence, and grit to develop that. Because, you know, if this is your placement right here, hey, man, I'm telling you, man, you've allowed your insecurities to hold you down for way too long. Way, way too long, man. And the universe don't like that shit. It just don't. Plus, you kind of let your emotions get the best of you time and time again. So now you're kind of being prompted to do things differently. And if you do, hey, there's a boss status and spiritual nourishment to be had. And so when I flip the script on this and I'm looking at this Ketu in the fourth, you know, hey man, I'm looking at somebody who's probably been a really emotionally active person for a long, long time. I'm looking at somebody who always put family first in their previous existences. Pardon me. I'm looking at somebody who might have, you know, cared a little too much because they were so focused on protecting the home front that they never took the time to figure out what the fuck they really wanted to do in life. Okay. I'm looking at somebody who's afraid to leave their little comfort zone because they know that success just might be waiting for them too. And, they're scared that they can't handle that shit. I'm looking at somebody who over several existences has developed a conflict between the want-tos of the moon and the have-tos of Saturn. And so now they have their responsibilities mixed up, and it's time to flip the script on that, man, and take responsibility for self. For self. Okay. And then everything else will fall into place. Okay. It's time to be the boss of your own shit and stop looking to everybody else for comfort and validation. You got it in you, in yourself. But hey, fuck it. Even if you ain't trying to hear a word I just said, that's all right. Cause just cause you built like that, you don't have to build like that. And what I mean is that we all have all this energy available to us. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And there's been some priceless knowledge of self. If you're interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. This is the time you should be hitting the like button because I know I went in. You can hit the dislike button, but I'll know you're a hater. And that's okay. Shoot me a comment. I need interaction. YouTube is all about interaction, man. I need more interaction. My schedule is clear now too, man. It's time for some readings, man. It's time to get some money. Y'all get at me. My rates are awesome and I'm the best. Period. Hey, same thing goes if y'all want some merch, man. And I do have different styles, you know. I got another one around here somewhere. I got different styles, you know. But I'll tell you this, you can get all the merch you want and I want to sell it to you. And I will. But this type of swag that I got, it's got to be in you and not on you. Let me put it in you.